Craig.
Welcome back, everyone, and Craig, to this next episode
I hope
of.
everyone else appreciates Craig as much as we do.
I don't think I get the impression. I feel like maybe some people think Craig is actually a person that's in here that never talks. That he's like mixing this thing, and he's not just like a bot who sits in the channel and records it and sends me a link to where I can download it from. I bet you like some people are like, Craig must be the guy at the mixing table, as if we're like an actual.
He's the bear bot in the channel.
Yeah. Craig is just a bot. Craig's just a bot who automatically records stuff.
Actually, Craig is our best friend. So
yeah.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. You're the best, Craig. Anyways, rules, jewels, and D&D schools. Here we are again. We're going to talk about the one D&D unearthed arcana, which they are like, yo, dog. We're going to be expanding this like crazy. And they're probably not going to have Artificer in the new one D&D. They're not going to update Artificer right out of the gate.
You don't think so? Or you think they're just waiting because it?
Maybe they're waiting, but
I think they're just waiting.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that is one of the newer classes, so maybe they're just like, that's not one of the ones we need to throw down and change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so new that it's like.
I mean, it's not that new. It's a couple years old.
Well, compared to everything.
Comparatively, yeah. I suppose. When did Eberron come out?
I don't know.
Year and a half, 2 years ago.
Really? Is that all?
And got it when it.
Yeah, I know. I did. Yeah. When did Eberron come out?
Was it pre or post pandemic? Well, was it pre-pandemic or is the pandemic still happening despite
Listen,
Joe Biden
let's not get into politics on this D&D podcast, dude.
Okay.
29 between let's see.
Joe Biden.
2019. Yep. No politics in my D&D podcast.
It wasn't Joe Biden then, it was Trump.
If you want to do a politics podcast, I'm all in, but this is not the place for it.
I don't.
Me either.
I like talking about politics.
Let's talk about D&D politics.
D&D politics right here. Yeah, the politics of Eberron, the Eberron book coming out in 2019. So it's 3 years. It's not new anymore.
No. But then it's still, the other stuff is like, 10 years old.
Did Eberron have all three of the subclasses, or were some of those saved for Tasha's?
Eberron had Artificer. Eberron had, I think that's the only full class.
Yeah, but did it have all three subclasses that they have now? Or were some of those only in Tasha's?
I honestly, dude, I don't know. I think I own the Tasha's book. I just haven't looked at it in a long time.
Yeah, I have Tasha's. I just don't have Eberron handy.
I can get the Eberron book for you.
Eberron?
I think you do, because I played a Warforge.
I think I just bought the race out of it.
Okay. Give me just a second.
Talk about something. No, I'm not gonna.
Talk about how they're bringing back crits, and they rolled back on that real good.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because their new things suck.
Because
it was terrible. I was like, leave crits alone. Crits are great. Leave them be.
Yeah, crits were good.
We don't need your input on crits.
Here it is.
Let's have our crits.
The special edition Eberron book.
There it is.
Ooh,
so does it have all three subclasses in it, or does it just have like one or two?
I'm about to tell you. It has a map in the back that I've never opened.
Well,
when you open the map?
There it is.
Because it's worth more money.
Tear out maps. Yeah. It's special edition. I'm not gonna tear it out. I might be able to sell this book to some collector.
30 years, people are gonna be like, I remember 5th edition.
It was so sick.
I wish I had the collection of all the collectible books with all their maps intact.
and all the cool like smooth velour covers and everything. All right, it had Artificer, Alchemist. Yeah, it did. Alchemist, Artillerist, and Battlesmith were all in this.
All right, so nothing new in Tasha's.
Nah, I guess. This also had Dragon Marks, which I've never used, and some races. This is where Changelings came in, right?
Yep, Changelings, Warforged. Kalistars, and I think that's
Shifters.
Shifter.
I mean, there was more than those. Changelings, Dragonborn, Dwarves, Elves, Gnomes, Goblinoids, Half-Elves, Halflings, Humans, Kalistar, Orcs, and Half-Orcs, Shifters, and Tieflings, and Warforged were all the races in the Eberron setting.
Oh, yeah, there's like upgraded different
there's like
types of
different stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for this setting specifically. Because this isn't meant to be like used in regular D&D. I think you're meant to like run an Eberron setup.
Yep.
Because this is a pretty thicko book. This is what I wished I would have gotten when I bought friggin' Spelljammer.
Shit of Spelljammer.
Yeah, just one.
Ooh, look, we didn't give you guys any rules for combat. Have fun. Good luck, DMs.
Man, this episode's starting out good.
Spicy. We
haven't even gotten to this thing.
Man, that shit sucks. Like, it's terrible.
That was the most.
We had a podcast on how shitty it was. We gotta.
Yeah, you should listen to that. TLDR. That's the most disappointed I've been with Dungeons and Dragons since I started playing.
Yeah, I was not impressed.
All right, so let's talk about the new unearthed arcana then.
Yeah,
which has things change. I'm very impressed with and things I'm just like, we already have that.
So, first off, the first sort of big thing is they're putting classes into groups.
Yeah.
There's a warrior class group, which consists of the barbarian, fighter, and monk. There's a priests class group, which consists of the cleric, druid, paladin. There's the mages class group, which consists of the sorcerer, warlock, wizard, and the experts class group, which is the bard, ranger, rogue, and artificer. But the artificer is not in this unearthed arcana. The ones that they're talking about is the other experts.
Yeah, these are just experts. Okay. Some like general overview thing, because I don't think we're gonna like read through this thing in its entirety, and I'm saying that because like all of this stuff is subject to change.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read through it. I do have the document open, so
I have it open.
Things I want to talk about.
Playtest material. Through the whole thing. I will say, here's one of the slight changes. Here's one of the slight slight changes.
I made you say pages.
God dang it. This is one of the slight changes that I thought was pretty decent, and especially for new players, is like they have recommended spells you can take at every level.
I saw that.
I think that's a good touch. Wizards of the Coast, you should keep that. That's kind of nice.
Very nice for new players.
You know, I mean, like, even if you know what you're doing, it's like a baseline, right?
Yeah.
Not that I'd ever use it. Yeah,
I bet you $100 fireballs on every one.
Level 3 fireball.
You shouldn't take fireball here. What? Wait a minute.
Listen, we haven't seen the new spells.
Get them out of here.
maybe they nerfed fireball big time. Maybe they're changing fireball a ton.
Honestly, I wish they would. Just so I'd have the freedom to finally pick other things.
You don't have to nerf fireball. You just have to make the other spells better. Anyways, I
want fireball to be in the ashes. Want it done.
No more fireball. It's the most iconic spell.
Get it out.
All right. Well, Isaac, what do you think of this thing in general? Let's get it in general. Like, how does everyone feel about
the whole thing?
Yeah,
it's fine. I mean, we'll see. There's a whole, just a ton of very small changes that, when added all up, is a slightly different game.
Yeah, are these the kind of changes that you don't really notice unless you're like A/B comparing them, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, for some of the stuff, I definitely know, especially like for the rogue, since it's a class that I'm currently playing and have read a lot through all the rules.
Yeah,
I did notice the changes, but on the bard, I had to go back and forth and like look at where did they change. Oh, okay, that's how it's different. It's because I haven't ever played a bard.
Our levels of preparedness, like, I think, go in like a cell tower like thing where you're like A/B comparing. I skim it before, and then Joe's our freeform guy.
I read through all the I read through the ranger, the rogue, and the bard.
Tell you what, swap me and Joe then, because like I skimmed this bad boy.
I wanted to read the class stuff.
I remember opening this up and I was reading through it, and I was like, most of this feels really unsubstantial, but that's good.
Know what feels really unsubstantial?
What?
fucking Ranger, new freaking subclass.
Oh,
The
yeah?
first thing, guess what it is? Something you already can get in another one. Thanks. Oh, I get to roll an extra D8 on my attack. Colossal Slayer. Oh, it's something else. Oh,
Well, it's
the
just.
same.
I mean, it is the same subclass as the one that already has Colossal Slayer. They just changed it a
Oh,
little bit.
lame.
Changing the words. That's all.
I
We
don't
want
change
something
names, I want
new.
something new.
That's right, dude. I want this to be 100%
Especially
different.
like it's the Hunter subclass, and I keep calling Rangers Hunter anyway. So I was like, "Fuck yeah, it fits for me."
Oh, okay.
And then I was like,
Hunter's already
"Okay,
a subclass.
oh, okay, Colossal Slayer, sick." Oh, shit.
How many? I wonder how many subclasses carry over each edition.
I don't know.
Can you
Let's
pull
start with the
before we-
Bard.
Oh yeah, we can
What do
start
you
with
got? What
the
do you
Bard.
got?
I was gonna say, can you pull up Ranger for me in 5e and tell me what the
Yep, I already got
subclasses
it.
are?
Beastmaster, Drake Warden, Fey Wanderer, Gloomstalker, Horizon Walker, Hunter, which is the one they talked about in here, Monster Slayer, and Swarm Keeper.
I only know
Okay.
like 3 of those.
There's a ton. Most of them are kind of like middle of the road, which is why you don't.
Rangers are just kind of poo-poo.
God dang. This has gotten harder to find.
What's that?
The
Did
list
they
of
up the
subclasses.
Ranger to a D10? Wasn't it a D8 for your health?
I don't
Hit
think
points?
so.
I feel like it was a
Let me
D8.
double check.
I might be wrong, but I feel like it was a D8.
I think it's D10. Yeah, it's D10.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was worth nothing because it's a lot harder to look this up than it used to be.
All right, I'll start.
All
in
right.
with the
Yeah.
Bard.
Let's start it. Let's start it. Sorry.
So
I was trying to find the 3-5 classes to see what they brought over, but like I'm having a hard time finding them. Anyways, yep. Go ahead.
the Bard. I'll try to hit as many of the small changes as I can as I see. So first off, Bardic Inspiration is now a reaction instead of a bonus action,
That's epic. That's awesome.
which
Nice.
you can use to either boost a D20 test like it does now, which you can use as a reaction when someone fails a D20 test, so it potentially can less wastage. Or the new thing you can do with it,
What I've been
which
waiting for.
which makes Bard
Give it to me.
potentially the best healer in the game,
Oh,
is you can heal with it. You can heal as a reaction.
Yeah, give me the heals, baby. I've been wanting something like that.
Yeah, you have been talking about this for a while, dude.
So, I mean, you can still only do it. What is it? Proficiency times per long rest.
Yeah.
But this potentially makes bards the best healers in the game, because if you have an ally who goes down and the monster that's hitting him has a multi-attack and is going to then hit him again while he's on the ground, you can wait until he takes that attack, make sure your buddy fail 2 death saves, and then use reaction on that attack and heal him. And then their death saves are gone. And
Yeah.
they're back to 1 or however many hit points, which is very, 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 very strong.
It's epic. I was reading that and I was just like, thank
Heals
you,
as a-
God.
Heals as a
Finally,
reaction.
they gave
is very
something.
strong.
So heal. This
And
is
it
the
doesn't
heal
go
class.
against your spells, which is huge. It
Those
does not
spells.
take
Actually,
a slot.
I say this is the heal class, but I mean the updated cleric, druid, and paladin could be insane. Like if
Could be.
this is this
Cleric
good, then
needs something like this.
yeah,
Yeah,
cleric
it's gonna
does.
have to have
Different.
something
It needs to
keep
be
up.
different, but it needs to be similar.
Yeah,
It's
it
gonna
needs
have
to
to
be.
have
some
something
ways,
to keep
like-
up with bards.
Yeah.
Another change they made to Bard, which I hope they don't do for all those casters. You now have, like, when you look at the table and it shows you like how many first, second, and third, how many spell slots you have.
Yeah.
Those, however many spell slots you have, is how many prepared spells you have of that level.
Oh, that's
So
another change too, right?
It's not like before, whenever you would know your spells and they could be anywhere. You could have just a billion level 1 spells and that's it.
Yeah.
You could
They're not
have
known-
a bunch of
they're
level
not-
4 spells and just not cast anything lower. Now you have at level 7, you have 4 prepared first level, 3 prepared second level.
Yeah.
3 prepared
They're not
third
known
level,
spells
1
anymore.
prepared-
They're prepared spells. Yeah.
Right.
Is that only for bards, or is that across the
We
board?
don't know.
We don't know.
Okay.
This is the only caster that they've done. But yeah, I hope that that's not across the board, unless they're
I hope
really unless they're really ramping up clerics, because clerics
Yeah.
and druids, that's kind of what makes them special, is that they get access to all the spells and can change them in and out day to day, which now the bard can do.
I'm honestly like bards are for the most part casters. I'm surprised that they ended up in the experts class.
Yeah,
I kind of like that though. It's like you get that one.
They're expert. Yeah, I guess they're like an expert loot
they're an
player.
Expert
Watch me loot this.
The weird sort of thing is, I forgot what I was going to say now. They have a limited spells they can choose from for those prepared spells. You can choose anything in the arc. You got, because now they've sorted it out into arcane, primal, and divine. I think are the 3 spell types. So they get to choose in the arcane, but you can only choose schools from divination, enchantment, illusion, or transmutation.
Oh, okay. They're limiting it.
For the bards, it does say that they can choose stuff in all of them. They're the only ones that can.
At certain levels.
Right.
At 11th level, you get, I think, 2 spells you can choose from one of the arcane, divine, or primal.
Are you stuck?
Any of them.
If you pick one of those, are you stuck with that? Or can you change later on the next day?
You are stuck with that. Well, you can switch out the spells, but you're stuck with that tree, whether it's arcane, divine, or primal. And then at 15th level, you get to choose another 2, and it can be from a different one of those trees if you want it to be. Okay. And those ones, the 2 you get from 11th and the 2 you get from 15th can be any school of magic. But all the other ones have to be one of those 4 schools, which is different.
This is now with it being separated like that. This is where they need to do an overhaul of every spell and make certain classes have. You only get these spells in this one, and this class doesn't get anything that's like it. So classes will feel different.
Yeah, I think they need to do that too. But they are. It looks like they are changing stuff with the spell list. They're at least making it a little easier to read.
Yeah, I don't think they need to. I used to think that they did need to do that, just completely overhaul where certain classes have certain spells that only they can do. And the thing is, like, the more I go into it and when we tried to create spells, classes do have several classes do have a few spells that only they can use. And as far as making the classes the magic users feel different, I feel like they do a pretty good job of that with the class features.
With the actual subclass and class features and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mix up. I still think that they could use more unique spells, but yeah, I mean, the subclasses do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Some unique spells that are very, very strong.
And very specific.
Each class has very strong ones. That's why you can be like, I'm going to play a wizard just because I want to be able to use that.
Fireball.
Yeah, that's a big one. Make Fireball where only like one class has it.
Yeah,
that way you don't have
for every class.
A wizard out there just fireball. That's all I cast. Haha.
That was me, dude. You just got too used to playing with me.
It's a real good spell.
It's a real good spell. What can I say, dude? I can't pass on.
It looks like they may be doing that a little bit. I mean, just based on what we see from the bard here, where they're making them choose from four schools of magic. Like, you can't just pick anything. You have certain schools you can pick.
Limiting by schools of magic does seem like a decent way to kind of like narrow the spell list down a little bit. The weird thing about this is like we're reading this, but odds are we're not gonna like play test this material, right?
Yeah,
us. So
I play tested in my mind.
So it is kind of hard. Like, we're gonna give an overview, but it is gonna be kind of hard to know how strong some of these things are until you have a chance to play it. I mean, theory crafting can get you a lot of the way, but playing it really gives it.
Yeah, I think it sounds cool. So far, I like it. I just hope that they don't make all the casters just have prepared spells and you can just rearrange them every day. I don't want that for all.
Well, thankfully, if they do that,
I'll tell them.
I'll be like,
feedback. Hey, I don't like this.
I don't like this. Submit that feedback. Everyone out there listening to this, don't forget to submit feedback and make D&D as the best D&D it can be.
So the other big thing that they changed for bards is that at second level you get a thing called Songs of Restoration, which gives you at second, fourth, sixth, eighth, and 10th levels, it gives you some spells that are always prepared, and they're all like cleric spells. So at second level, you get Healing Word. At fourth, you get Lesser Restoration. At sixth, you get Mass Healing Word. At eighth, you get Freedom of Movement. And at 10th, you get Greater Restoration. So it seems like they really want bards to be healers. Healers, but not
utility healers.
I'm waiting for this cleric stuff to come out, and they're gonna change clerics into like warmongering fighters that cast a little bit of magic. Feels.
Nah, dude.
We'll see.
We'll see. I think they say as a healer,
I think that would be kind of sick, though, man. My clerics in there just beating things up.
That's why
healing people.
So that every time you walk into a fight, you can pull your little white collar out.
Yep. When the fight's over, you're like, oh, hold on, I gotta get my white collar.
Let me get my white collar back. No, you put it in your bag. You don't want your white collar getting dirty when stepped on in fight.
You just carry multiple.
Yeah.
You can press to digitate it. You got to make a statement when you throw it on the ground.
That's how you get powered up. That's like the new cleric barbarian rage.
You
pull it out and you throw it on the ground. And you're like, oh shit, Bob needs business here, dude. All right. Bards. Is that pretty much everything you want to say about bards?
Yeah, they did the College of Lore as the subclass example.
Yeah, the one subclass example.
But I'm really not familiar enough with it to know if it's changed.
Yeah, I'm not either. So they're gonna do 4 subclasses for each class, right? That's what it says in here, I think.
J. Craw mentioned like 42, 48 total subclasses. So I don't know what that equals out to, but it's
nice.
I think that's about what they have now. So I don't know.
That'd be pretty.
Let me calculate.
I wouldn't mind if they just updated all the ones they have, just changed up things. That'd be cool. I'd be fine with that.
Trying to do. Well, Eric adds that. We can move on to Ranger.
Before we do, I'm just reading through some of this. I tell you one thing I don't like. Really don't like. And I guess it's going to be all the classes, but the fact that they're making ability score improvements a feat, so instead of just being choose ability score improvements or a feat, I'm taking a feat that's ability score improvements. I think that's just dumb. I think that's stupid. I would rather have seen you get ability score improvements and a feat.
Maybe they will. I think that they're just trying to do this to change the language, because in the PHB, feats are an optional rule. So now they're making it to where now they are no longer an optional rule. Feats are the way we're doing this, and one of the feats happens to be ASI.
I could see that.
So
yeah,
both of those.
Okay, that makes it better. Your explanation makes it better. Yeah.
I never even. Yeah.
I'd rather just get both.
Feats as an optional rule. I totally forgot about that. I never think about it because I always just I think like
feats are the coolest when everyone uses them.
Yeah, everyone just gets feats, and feats make the game more fun. All right,
and the expertise stuff is really cool. I like that they added that.
Yeah, that's the biggest change to Ranger is that they get expertise at level 1 now.
By the way, it's not even, so I'm sure some classes will get one more than the other. So 3 to 4 subclasses for each.
Yeah.
Oh, if these are all the classes they're doing, 3 to 4 to each one.
Interesting, because there's way more than that now.
Well, I mean, like that was built up over years.
4.
That was built up over years, right? The cleric didn't come out with 15 shitty subclasses. They added them, over the years.
But this is supposed to be backwards compatible with 5e, right? So
you're just, what's going to happen? It's going to be backwards compatible with 5e
for like a year.
No, yeah, right.
They're gonna be like, it just doesn't work. it just doesn't. Nobody plays 5e anymore. Let's just get
it's gonna be backwards compatible, but like the old stuff, the really old stuff is just going to be considerably worse in every way than the new stuff.
Could be.
It's already like that. The stuff that came out in Spelljammer is significantly better. Like getting feats at level 1 and like doing all this crazy crap. Like they're moving in that direction. Yeah, the power curve. It's steeper in the beginning. Anyways, Ranger
is real. Yeah, Ranger they're giving expertise too, so that it fits into the experts category. Because otherwise, it doesn't really fit in any of the categories.
Caster light, dude.
but that makes sense. Like I would think that a ranger is supposed to be very good at like survival and
You're an
tracking.
expert bowman,
So
an expert, like, tracker of things, tracker of animals.
yeah.
You're the guy who goes, "Ooh, this scat's fresh. Let me lick it," and you lick it, and you're like, "This is definitely something scat." Make that check for me,
Yeah. I tell you one thing that's really nice about the hunter or the ranger.
Hunter.
They give them. Yeah, I know. I always call them hunter.
I know all the time.
They're making it to where you always get hunter's mark. You don't have to take it.
Yes.
That's nice.
Which is something that might be worth just multi-classing into ranger for one level for.
Yeah,
it's that
for
strong.
real.
Because you always get hunter's mark. It doesn't count against your number of spells you can prepare. You don't have to concentrate on it once you've cast it. And it lasts for the full duration unless you end it as a bonus action.
Yep.
So if you are a warlock and you take one multi-class into ranger, you can have hex and hunter's mark up.
and just hit him from downtown with your Eldritch Blast.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. I am gonna do that.
I can't wait to hit level 8 and be 600 feet, mother licking stuff.
Problem is,
that's the big change.
You have to be within a certain range to get the hunter's mark.
Yeah, 60 feet, I think. I think it's 60 feet.
Yeah,
but if you have stealth sniper,
pretty big change. That's a pretty big deal because like it seems like hunter's mark is a thing that yes, every ranger should always hunter's mark. But then you get there and you're like, well, I can't cast some of the other things I wanted to cast because it's concentration.
Is it counting as a spell still?
Yeah, it still counts as a spell, but you just don't have to concentrate on it, and it's always prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. Very nice.
That is such a big improvement.
I gotta say, that seems to make the ranger like actually good. I think what happened with rangers in 5e is like, I always skip 4e, but rangers in 3.5 were dumb. Flat out. Like, I'm going to take 12 shots this round, like just absolutely insane. Oh, good. And so I think they spent a couple of editions just like, let's squish this a little bit. And then by the time it got squished into 5e, it was like, nothing about this is very good.
Yeah, rangers they need a little help. Like there's a couple, if you go Gloomstalker, you're fine. But yeah, it feels a little lackluster for sure. Yeah.
But now it feels strong.
Another thing, well, it's not really a change in ranger, but it's a change that affects rangers. When you get a fighting style at second level, and there are other classes where you get a fighting style, all the fighting styles are now also feats, and they are warrior feats. So as a ranger, it makes a special exception that you, although you're not a warrior, can still take fighting style feats. So just a little thing to note there.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so you can get extra fighting styles if you really want to. I think that's like the hunter. They just changed, like they took out because you used to be able to select a couple different things from the hunter's prey. You could get Colossus Slayer, Giant Killer, or Horde Breaker, and now it looks like it's pretty much just Colossus Slayer. It's like, no, those other ones, no one ever picked them, so we're just going to give you this.
We're just narrowing it way down.
Yeah.
I'm kind of skimming through this.
Something that seems like a little underwhelming is at 18th level you get Foe Slayer, which your hunter's mark deals a D10 now instead of a D6. At level 18, that seems a little bit weak.
It says an extra, right?
Yeah, I think it's an extra. That's what now is your 20th level thing, Foe Slayer. So it's pretty good. I think let me double check real quick.
It's because all the 20th level stuff has been replaced with epic boons.
Yeah. So yeah, your hunters deals an extra 1d10 damage.
Yeah, extra 1d10
rather than rather than an extra 1d6. So
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Hold on, I gotta double check. What did it say before?
But I will say this is like
it's
what
always like you deal an extra because you have it cast, so you get to
Yeah.
add the extra d6 to your
This
roll.
is one of those.
I guess the reason it's a lesser upgrade is because they buffed Hunter's Mark for that so strongly. Yeah. Okay.
I would just like to
Alright.
see that not at level 18. That's high.
There's nothing
Yeah.
else after that. I mean, you get a feat after that, and you get your epic boon at level 20.
I want my epic boon, please.
Epic boons. Epic boons were in the DMG, right? Pretty
Yes.
sure.
Well, yeah. They were suggestions.
Yeah, they were.
They're like, if you
suggestions
get to
in the
level 20 and you're still going, instead of leveling up, you can just give your people really cool feats.
Yeah.
Basically.
But now they're building it in. They're wanting it to be part of the classes
Yeah.
because
they're wanting-
every single
especially-
class.
That's a big thing coming from feats no longer being an optional rule. It's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, everyone just
So.
gets epic boons, dude.
So yeah, that's the Ranger.
Ranger.
You can, yeah.
The
There's
subclass on
a
Hunter.
few changes, but I've not played Ranger enough to really
I didn't play Ranger in
do-
get
5e.
into it.
I do think the level 6 thing for Hunter is pretty cool. If you have Hunter's Mark cast on somebody, you also get to find out what their immunities, resistance, vulnerabilities, and stuff are.
That is cool.
That's
pretty
cool. Yeah, that's a cool thing. And that's low enough level that it
Yeah.
makes sense to get it.
Yeah,
Sixth
but
level.
level 3 again, it's just Colossal Slayer reskinned.
I mean, I get the feeling like they added the epic boon thing at 20 because like they're just trying to balance. I feel like this game is always has in 5th edition especially is balanced up to level like 10, and then after that it's like
The level 10 one, it has something I haven't seen before. You now
Shoulder
always
shrug.
have Conjure Barrage prepared, and it
Mhm.
doesn't count against your spells, right?
And you can
But
also
the
cast
cool
it
thing,
lower.
you can
yeah.
you can cast it as a lower spell, so you just remove a D8, but you can cast it as a first or second level. That's pretty cool. I
That's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
That is cool.
If they add that to other classes, that would be pretty awesome.
I mean, overall, I think that like most of the changes they're making, they're either side grades or upgrades. They're not like
Right.
nerfing anything, and I mean, most of it feels pretty good.
We're gonna be in a trap though. Everybody's gonna be level 1 fireballing.
Yeah,
I only
That's the
cast
power creep, I'm
fireball. It's
telling you.
that's the only spell I have.
I am literally fireball only. I cast fireball at level 1. I cast fireball at level 2. I just does a little less damage.
On to the Rogue, I guess, since we have
The
anything else to say
Rogue.
about the Ranger.
I ain't got anything else to say about Rangers. I didn't play Rangers. I don't know enough about Rangers to really. These are the classes that I had the least amount to say about because they're just classes I am usually not that interested in playing. I'm leaning on you guys for these.
Yeah, those. I mean, I think we had all the big changes on both of them. There may have been some on Bard we missed because I don't think any of us ever played Bard.
I played a Bard in your campaign. You loved him.
I did not love him, and neither did you. So
I loved him more than my second character, but
what? You loved your tower.
I did love my tower. I did love the tower. The tower was the only reason I made that character, dude. I was like, I'm building a whole character around this tower. Anyways, Rogue. We don't need to get on a tangent here.
Let's see. Yeah, Rogue is very similar. You get an extra language as a Rogue, which sure. I mean, before
Sure.
you just got your common pretty much and Thieves' Cant. But now you get Thieves' Cant plus a language that is like up to you and your DM to decide what's good. Cunning action is the same. A lot of the stuff is the same. I think Rogue is the one they said they didn't want to mess with the most because it felt solid,
Yeah, it's already
which
solid.
I
But they
agree
did
with.
the thief subclass that they upgraded a little bit. There's some pretty wicked stuff in there.
I'm
The level 10 one, the use magic device, that's pretty awesome. It
Yeah, you can
increases
attune
your
up to
treasure
4.
hunting. You can attune up to 4 magic items instead of 3. And if you have a magic item that has charges, you can use a charge and then you get to roll a d6. If you roll a 6, you don't expend the charge.
That's
That's
a big magic
pretty
item
big.
users.
That's pretty big.
That seems like something they're going to add to Artificers.
Yeah, they have to.
They have to, yeah.
And then spell scrolls, it just gives you more clear rules on how they work, but it's, from what I can tell, pretty much the same as what the actual rules already are.
Can I do a slight tangent here? I want to do the
sure.
slightest of tangents.
Okay.
And this isn't
That
even
was light.
necessarily about this unearthed arcana. Thieves' Cant is the least believable thing in the game, I think. In a game full of mysticism and magic and stuff like this, it is unbelievable to me that thieves and rogues would have a language so complex that only they can learn it.
Well, I think the way that I have understood it does not make a lot of sense with the way most campaigns run. But the way I understand it is that in a given region, it's not really a spoken language so much as a written one. And you can like see and stuff and go, oh, I know what that is. So it's just a it's a device.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that some
Can you use comprehend languages to decipher Thieves' Cant to read it?
In theory, it's up to your DM, but it is considered a language.
I it's one of those things where like someone would see that symbol and they'd be like, oh, I'm gonna learn about that, even if they're not a thief. And then you're like, I'm a guard and I can read Thieves' Cant. And they're like, oh, you're the most valuable guy on the team then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's another sort of thing that I've sort of thought about was it's probably like a language that's pretty constantly changing. So unless you're into it, you probably wouldn't. But again, it's there so that for plot.
Yeah, it's there for plot. Yeah,
so your rogue can do
so you have something
cool.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, we can get back on it.
So yeah, stack and story work. You get a climb speed. They did change the way that speeds work. So now whenever you move at the beginning of your turn, you can choose which speed you're using. So if you was okay, I'm using my walk speed for these 30 feet. And there you go. I'm using my swim speed right now. Okay, you can swim for those 30 feet. But if you use like, and I guess if you're not swimming, then your swim speed is halved if you're walking. It's kind of complicated, and I need to read over it again to understand it completely. But it's basically so that you don't do a bunch of math having to, well, how much do I have left when I get in the water? Like, no, you have your walk speed this turn. Next turn, you can use your swim speed and go your full, if you have a swim speed, go your full 30 feet. Same thing with climb speed, fly speed. You get to choose which speed you're using at the beginning of the turn, and then that's what you get. But yeah, there's not a lot has changed with rogues.
I think that this was probably the least changed out of all of them.
I guess we can move on to feats.
Feats, baby. Some of the feats. I think some of the feats are pretty cool.
First feat, ability score improvement.
That's it.
A new 4th level feat.
Wow, ability score improvement. I've never seen this feat.
Let's see. So they touch.
I don't know. I think this is a fine way to like weave feats and.
Yeah, I mean that's all they did because it was an optional rule and now it's not based on the way this reads. So they're like, well, instead of just making it complicated, just make ability score a repeatable feat because now all the feats have have a repeatable thing and it's either yes or no, and you can.
I'm going to take tough every single time.
I don't think that's not one of the ones they changed yet, but yeah, I'm sure that'll.
Saying, like that'd be funny.
They changed all these like a little bit. You get a climbing speed. I don't remember if you had a climbing speed before with athlete, but now you get a climbing speed with athlete, and it's a half feat, so you get 1 ability score increase. Charger, I think they changed. Let me double check. Yeah, you get improved dash. So when you take the dash action, your speed increases by 10 feet for that action. And then when you have the charge attack, which is similar to the way that it worked before. Crossbow expert, they did change. Now, it specifies that being within 5 feet of an enemy doesn't impose disadvantage on your attack rolls with crossbows. They just added with crossbows at the end, which makes sense because it's crossbow expert.
You can dual wield too.
Yeah, you could do that before though. That was there.
Oh, okay. Not a big crossbow expert guy.
Let's see. Defensive duelist. You can parry. You can use a reaction to parry, which adds your.
If you have a finesse,
I had that with Shiro, and it was that way before.
Okay.
You use a.
Let's see. Dual wielder.
Oh wait,
dual wielder?
that's a reaction. Sorry, that is different.
reaction.
It was a bonus action. Now it's reaction. That's
They are
way
really
better.
moving away from bonus actions, it feels.
Well, they're making reactions a little better for all the classes. I mean,
I think also with
technically
like
with melee attackers, really, the only thing you could do was to just punch stuff if it moved away from you.
Yeah.
Whereas casters, at least have spells that are bonus actions.
I'm speaking ahead a little bit, but I think even in like the fighting style for dual wield, not the feat, the fighting style for dual weapon fighting, they made it to where the extra attack isn't a bonus action; it's just an attack.
Oh, where'd you see that?
That should be down in the fighting section.
Oh, okay, we'll get there then.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Dual wielder is a feat.
It allows you to, as long as the weapon's not two-handed, yeah. So you can have
as the
your
light property.
Yeah.
You can treat non-light weapons as if they did have the light property.
Well, as long as they lack the two-hand thing. So you can't have one of those flex weapons.
You can't Titan's grip.
Yeah. Can't be the barbarian from Diablo 2, dude.
Yeah.
Where you're just spinning in a circle.
Yeah.
Carrying 2 claymores, one in each hand, and you're like,
I'm waiting for that to be a feat now. Titan's grip. You can wield two-handed weapons.
Like a monster. I would play that, dude.
Prerequisite strength of 20.
Yeah, 2 gigantic swords, one in each hand, and you're just like mowing people down. That sounds amazing. I mean, otherwise, it's just like you can draw both your swords like it's one sword, stuff like that. Whatever.
Durable. I think the thing they changed was as a bonus action, you can expend one of your hit die and roll it and gain the hit points. So that's kind of cool.
Advantage on death saving throws.
I think that was that already.
That's durable. I don't remember. I honestly
don't think I've ever seen that, but I don't know.
A lot of these feats, like even the old ones, I don't know what's in most of the old feats.
Let me double check because I know durable is a feat, but I don't remember. You just increase your con, and when you roll a hit die, the minimum number of hit points you can regain equals twice your con modifier. So they changed the durable quite a bit.
Yeah.
So now you have advantage on death saves, and you can use a hit die as a bonus action instead of at the end of not instead of, but in addition to at the end of a long rest.
Yeah.
So that's different. Cool.
Durable. Yep. Different. Fantastic. Elemental adept.
Repeatable, but you have to choose a different damage type each time. But it's very similar to the one that was already there. You can make things that are resistant, not resistant. Yeah, you can ignore resistant.
Nice.
For whatever particular damage type you choose.
Acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
Then we get all the epic boons, which is the level 20 feats.
I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on these.
These are supposed to be very strong, right? And some of them, they seem like, I can't decide if they are very strong or just very wow, right?
Dimensional travel does not sound amazing.
You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot, and then you can't do it until you finish a short or long rest. Yeah, it's not
until you roll initiative.
Oh, okay. So that's
or finish a short rest or a long rest.
Huh?
I mean,
it's a free Misty
not bad.
Step for every time you roll
every combat.
initiative.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's okay. I mean, I feel like level 20
it's not huge
stuff,
because Misty Step is not a high level spell slot, and by the time you're level 20, if you're a caster, you're going to have a lot of spell slots. But if you're not a caster, then that's quite a big difference.
Yep.
Because the prerequisite is expert or mage group, so that really is going to be rogues or.
I'm going to say that doesn't sound very good compared to epic boon of energy resistance.
Big boon of energy resistance.
Oh, would you just get to pick a damage type that you're resistant to,
and every short and long rest, you just change it. Yep. You know what?
Wow, that's a good one.
Oh, we're going to go fight a fire dragon? Let me meditate for a little bit and make myself not flammable.
Except for the fact that you have to be 20th level. Did you read
I mean, you have to be 20th level to get a free cast of Misty Step. Oh, wow, I can cast Misty Step.
Yikes, 20th level, 20, that kind of blows.
If you're level 20...
that's what all these epic boons are.
All the level 20 stuff.
Okay.
These are 20th level feats only. Like, if I'm level 20, I have the spell slots to throw away at a Misty Step.
Again, unless you're like a rogue, and then you can getting
yeah.
Misty Step for free is pretty decent.
But why? Okay, Epic Boon of Fortitude.
Yeah,
Hit point
there's
maximum
bonus.
increased by 40.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
In addition, whenever you regain hit points, you regain additional hit points equal to your con modifier.
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty dang good. That's
Yeah.
just flat good.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Really making that Misty Step one not look that great.
The Epic Boon of Combat Prowess is kind of cool. If you miss, you can just hit, and then
No.
you can you can't do it again until you roll initiative again. But
You skipped one, didn't you?
That's pretty cool.
Well, that
that
was
they're
the first
adding
one.
that. You can get stuff back when you roll an initiative roll again.
Yeah.
So you
Here you
get
go.
things back.
Well, that's
at least
like almost
back for
all-
one combat.
that's almost all epic boons, right? Because
Oh,
they're
it's
supposed to be
the
super
epic
strong.
boon.
So Joe, for your guy in the last campaign, you could have taken Epic Boon of Irresistible Offense. The damage you deal always ignores resistance.
Oh,
Yeah, for all those
hell no.
for all them martial classes out there.
I had magic weapons. So.
You did, but
I was crushing souls. I was crushing godly souls.
Epic Boon of Luck, you can add a D10 to a D20 test.
you think they're going to
once
remove the
per
luck sheet?
initiative.
Did they remove luck?
No, I mean in the previous UA it was still there.
Oh, okay.
This one's different than luck. This isn't just reroll. This is you add a D10 to whatever your
Oh,
D20
okay.
is.
That's not bad.
It's not as cool as some of the other ones, but
Epic
yeah, it's
Boon
not
of
bad.
Peerless aim. That's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, if you make a
If
range
you
attack,
miss, you just hit.
if you miss, you just hit.
Once per initiative.
Once per initiative. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. You can become
melee,
invisible as an
melee.
action. That's the Epic Boon of the Night Spirit. Until
Yep.
immediately after you take an action or reaction. Okay, yeah, sure. Recovery. bonus
Recovery's
action.
pretty strong.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Half your hit point maximum.
Jesus Christ!
As a
that's
bonus
really
action,
strong.
regain half your hit point maximum.
Why
It's
would
pretty
I
strong.
take anything else? And there's no prerequisites, and you can be any class. So,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the prerequisite is your level 20. So
well, yeah, but
Oh, you
if
also
I get to level
succeed.
20, sure. I'm a barbarian, and I take no damage. I'm almost dead. Give me half my HP back.
You're also
Thanks.
not gonna die because you succeed every death saving throw that isn't a 1.
Oh my god!
I mean, you can
that's
still die if
strong.
someone's like just beat you
Stabs
up while
you.
you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punch that guy while he's down.
Skill proficiency, you gain proficiency in all skills. Epic boon of skill
Yeah.
proficiency.
I
That's
wonder.
kinda cool.
They made a ton of these. I wonder if they were just like, too bad no one will ever
They're
use
just-
them, 'cause no one ever gets level 20.
I feel like they're just shotgunning these because Epic Boon of Speed is garbage. If you
We
need
need
Extra 30 feet. That's a lot. That's a lot.
that's a lot, but
That's a
how often you need to move that much, dude? Unless you like play a monk.
We need to run a hero campaign.
All level start at level 20 and like move from there and level
Yeah.
up to level 40.
Yeah, level 40 is a hero character. We need to get there.
Epic boon of undetectability. You can't be seen or heard by any means, magical or non-magical, while you are hidden. They changed the way. That's the big change to rogues, I guess, is they changed the way hidden works.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to. Epic boon of the unfettered. It's a bonus action. You can take the disengage action, which also ends grappled and the restrained conditions for you.
Wow,
Which
that
is-
seems
not good because that's like rogues can already do that, and well, they can't get rid of the grapple, I guess.
it doesn't get rid of grapple. And they changed okay. I can't wait
It
to
could be
get
good. It could be good.
I can't wait to get past this and get to the grappler feat.
Well,
Yeah.
that was the last epic boon. So there's also the next feats are all the different fighting styles. Again, they're all available now via feat as long as
Except for
underwear.
grappler. It just says feat. It does not say fighting style.
Well, it's because grappler isn't a fighting style. Grapplers are just
Should be.
regular feat.
All right, anyways, fighting style, archery.
It's just all those really didn't
Yeah.
change. It's just
Yeah.
all the different fighting styles.
Yeah.
Grappler gets that advantage though on attack rolls if you have the creature grappled, which is
So
big
yeah,
plus.
they changed it a little bit of
big,
grappler.
big plus.
It's now a half feat, so you get to add an ASI, one ASI. And you have advantage on attack rolls against the creature you grappled, which I think
You already did.
do.
Yep.
You aren't slowed when you move a creature, provided the
Yeah.
creature is your size or smaller. That's
I like that a
change.
lot. I like that a lot. I wish I could do that because it's like I'm 30 feet tall. I shouldn't move at half speed when I'm holding this like medium-sized guy. I could pick him up and hold him in that campaign, like an action figure, and like walk like a plus size action figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends, but yeah, some of them.
Oh, no.
And if you're two sizes bigger, I'm not going to give you half speed to move things.
They
When you-
they nerfed Great Weapon Master.
Yeah, they nerfed Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter. They're no longer -5 +10. They're just gives you a little extra.
I wanted to before we get too far away from the fighting styles, 2-weapon fighting. I don't know if this changed, but I feel like it did. When you make the extra attack with your other light weapon, you can add your ability modifier to the damage.
It's been that.
Was it that
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been that.
That's why you take 2-weapon fighting, so you can
Okay.
do that. Or else you can use your bonus action to hit stuff, but you don't get to add your.
Yeah, which
Okay,
is what
yeah.
because your guy's fighting style is unarmed, not necessarily dual weapon. So, and then the punch and grab for the finish off grappler. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, as part of that attack action as part of the attack action on your turn, you can deal damage to the target and also grapple it.
That's kind of nice too.
Which is a pretty big deal.
Once per turn. Yeah. I feel like they did this because the grappler feat as it is now, it's not very good.
Yeah,
it gives you the ability.
We can we can use this as a in your.
If you're willing to try to like play test this to give it a shot, I'm totally willing to do this.
Yeah,
because this feels like it makes the character an actual grappler instead of a guy who punches people who can grapple people. You know what I mean? Which is what it feels like now. Like I intended it to be a grappler, and then like it's like okay, I got the grappler feat, but it's just like you can pin them.
Well, I mean, the thing you lose is you can't restrain them anymore, but you gain. I feel like what you gain is sense.
more than makes up for it. Yeah, because like
it makes sense.
When in a fight, realistically, would you pin someone in a way that made it to where you couldn't attack them? As someone who does martial arts, that's something you don't want to do. Even if you're like getting them in a lock, you want to be able to like whack them a little bit, you know?
I mean, you still can with the original one. It's just you are also considered restrained, which I think is weird. But you can still attack. But anyway, moving on to Great Weapon Master, they changed along with Sharpshooter. You no longer get to take your 5 penalty to attack and add just a flat 10 damage. You just get, when you hit a creature with a heavy weapon as part of an attack action on your turn, you can cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus, and you deal it once per turn. Yeah,
That's
it's
super lame.
I do not like that change.
I hate that change. I wouldn't take that feat now.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
that's not super good.
Not great anymore. That one, it's same thing for Sharpshooter. So you can add your proficiency bonus to one hit once per turn. You can do it. And it takes out the cool fun part where you get to decide whether or not to gamble. That's fun.
Gambling is fun, everyone.
Yep. It is.
It is in D&D where there's no stakes. I don't like to gamble when my money's at stake. Not a big gambler.
Heavily armored, I feel like is very similar. It's a half one in this. I don't know if it is in the other one. In the original, but you gain heavy weapon or heavy armor training.
Yeah, you got heavy armor training. Great.
Heavy armor master, you get damage reduction, which is pretty good.
Yeah, you can use your heavy armor to deflect strikes.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Damage reduction. That makes sense.
Reduced by your proficiency bonus, which I think is something similar. I don't remember what it is now.
We don't have to worry about it right now.
Inspiring leader, which used to be not great. It was like a kind of a throwaway feat that maybe your DM would just give you. Now at the end of a short rest or a long rest, you can give an inspiring performance. You choose up to 6 friendly creatures, and they get temporary hit points equal to 2d4 plus your proficiency. It's still not great, but it's a little better. Well, no, I think it's actually a little worse. Because before you got temporary hit points equal to your level, I think. You could do it like just any 10 minutes. It didn't have to be at the end of a short rest or long rest. So yeah, I feel like it's
maybe that's worse. I don't know. Every time I saw inspiring leader, I was like, yep, not taking that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like every time I would.
A lot worse.
Keen Mind. Is it?
They made it. Well, they don't have it in there where it states that you recall everything in the past 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big.
You can take the study action as a bonus action.
What is the study action?
It's basically it's like whenever you were like in the middle of a fight, you're like, do I see them? And you say, well, you can use your action to look. Same thing. You can use your action. You can use your action to see if you can figure out something.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
You can also gain expertise with it, which is good.
Yeah,
and it doesn't take like you don't know what time it is anymore. Like you used to be able to.
I kind of liked that.
Yeah,
I kind of
You
like
always
that.
knew which way was north, so you always knew the direction.
that's a little
Yeah.
nerfed.
Yeesh.
Yeah. People thought that was a bad feat, but I think it was a good feat.
Now it's a bad feat.
now it's
I think-
not
now
great.
it's just it's sort
Here's
of
the thing.
mediocre. I think.
I think that from a role playing perspective, maybe it was a good feat, but from an optimization perspective, it was not worth taking that over
Sure. I see
ASI or other feats.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Let's see. Lightly armored Mage Slayer.
Mage Slayer.
Mage
Yeah,
Slayer
skip that.
seems pretty good now.
I don't
It's
remember
a
what
half,
old one did.
It's a half one. Well, before it was if you're within 5 feet of a caster, you get some things, right?
Okay.
You can. I think it was you get advantage on if they cast something on you as long as you're within 5 feet. You can take a reaction against them if they try to cast a spell. You can hit them again if you're within 5
Okay,
feet.
yeah,
But, like,
guarded-
when are you ever going to be within 5 feet of a caster? They're not.
Guarded
Guard
mind.
is huge.
Yeah, that seems
So
really
yeah,
good.
now it's whenever you
Concentration breaker is
fail.
awesome.
Whenever you fail a mental saving throw, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, you can cause yourself to succeed instead once per.
Not even like a reroll, just a
pretty good.
flat. you
That's
succeed.
way better. But again, that's one of those things like in Michael's campaign.
It would have been the best thing
we
ever.
We fought casters. Well, yeah, for those things, but caster wise, I mean, most of the time we just fought stuff that shot us or punched
Yeah.
us.
The concentration breaker thing, that's kind of neat. The guarded mind thing, I think, is what
It's
makes this
huge.
pretty good.
Yeah, guarded mind makes it a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, for sure.
Mounted combatant. It's.
I feel like this
about
never
the
comes up.
same, but
Women,
no one
like,
ever uses mounts.
I'm trying to think of like every time I've thought I'm going to make a guy who uses a mount. It's like how inconvenient is that I
Real
have this mount
inconvenient.
all the time.
Yeah, it's very inconvenient.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I'm taking my horse. You taking it inside this tiny cave?
you taking it in this jungle? You
I
taking your
guess
horse in
not.
this jungle?
Mounted
why
combat, I feel like you need to be like a gnome that rides like a dog.
Yeah, there you go.
A wolf.
Or
You're
you
a
need
gnome that rides a dire wolf or something.
Joe. This one's for you. You need one of those big salamander things from Avatar: The Last Airbender that one lady rides.
Yeah.
that can like run on water and like
And,
jump
like run
through the trees.
upside down and stuff.
Yeah,
on the
and I'll do all
ceiling.
this crazy stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you need. You don't
That
need
would
a
be
horse.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. But now we're just talking about cool character ideas.
They changed observant. That used to be the one that would just bump your passives by 5, and you could read lips.
Is
And
that
you
why
couldn't be
you're?
surprised, I think?
Is that why Victor's was able
No.
to see things?
Nope.
What? Why was his stuff so high? What did you take?
Because I took skill expert, which gave me expertise in perception.
Perception. Okay.
Okay.
Golly, you had like a plus 15 in that.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
You can see everything all the time.
I rolled a 1. What'd you roll? A 16.
Did I see it?
Did I see it?
So the new observant, you get to choose insight, investigation, or perception, and then you can get proficiency, or if you already have proficiency, you can get expertise in it. That's cool, but not incredible. It's also a half feat, so you get an ASI, and you can take the search action as a bonus action.
That doesn't seem like most situations where I'm searching, I'm not like in a dire situation where like, God dang, I really need to search with my bonus action.
I don't know. There could be like a trap situation, like the walls are closing in and you're trying to find a key, right? You've got to heal someone, but you can use your bonus action to try to
Yeah.
take the key.
That'd be a good feat for like Saren, not attacking.
Yeah.
Just roleplay wise.
Yeah, I'm reading Polearm Master.
Polearm, I think, is pretty close to the same.
Yeah, Pole Strike's exactly the same. Reactive Strike. This is new, I think.
No, that's the same.
Nope, that's the same. Okay, yeah.
I don't think it's any different.
Enters your reach. Yep, that feels pretty much exactly the same.
Hang on, okay, never mind. Polearm's just if you have a polearm, it says in the thing that the range is 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
It
just
has
a
the
property.
I thought that was part of the Polearm
No,
Master.
Polearm Master allows you to
I was
hit
like,
the
God,
other
that
end.
sucks. That's gone. It's just like sitting here like, hating this.
I
thing.
guess it is a half feat now. I don't think was it a half feat before?
I have no idea.
Well, now you got to add strength by 1. So
I think that's going to be just a lot of these.
because resilience, saving throw proficiency, that's the same, I think, as it was. Yeah. That's exactly the same. Ritual caster. So another thing to note with this UA, any spell that has a ritual tag can be cast as a ritual by anyone. You don't have to have a ritual caster feature anymore.
That's so good. That's That's so good. That's so dumb that it was like that before. So incredibly dumb. Like,
That's
man.
yeah. But now you can. So with the ritual caster feat now, it's a half feat, and then you get to choose 2 first level spells that have a ritual tag from any of the spell lists.
Yeah.
And you always have them prepared, and you can cast them with any spell slots, but also as a ritual, of course.
Yep.
Let's
Quick
see.
ritual.
They made Sentinel even better.
You can cast a ritual that you have prepared using its regular cast time, rather than the extended cast time. Doesn't require a spell slot, and you can do it once per long rest.
That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
That's
Being able to like
that's part of the wizard subclass.
pop up a tiny hut. Bingo.
It's still a long time. It's still like a minute.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because regular cast time is a minute, I think.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Balls.
They changed Sentinel? I didn't see it yet.
It used to be if you use your opportunity attack to hit a creature that hit an ally, they could still move, but now they can't.
Yeah, now they've sort of reworded it to it's an opportunity attack anytime you do.
Yeah, no matter
it's
what,
not like a reaction.
It stops them from moving.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
So yeah, if you hit someone with your reaction, essentially their speed becomes 0, which is pretty cool. It's strong, real strong. Also, it's a half feat. I don't think it was a half feat before, but I don't know. The power creep is real, guys. Like,
yeah.
A lot of these are half feats now. Sharpshooter, same as Great Weapon Master. Sad story.
Did they add the firing and melee?
Yeah,
that wasn't in there before. That's huge.
That's pretty cool, but still, I would rather have had the -5/+10.
Yeah,
myself.
Just play a GIF. That's all you got to do. You don't need that.
Let's see, what else do we got?
Shield.
Shield Master is a half feat now, and I say half feat. A lot of these are very specific. Like this one is strength only. Many of them are one particular stat only.
Allows you to shield bash.
If you attack with a creature, you can shield bash.
And knock them 5 feet away.
Saving throw. Yeah. Or you can interpose shield, I think, is added onto it. You can make it a dex save and take half damage. Oh, so now it's any dex save. It's not one that's specifically targeted at you. So you can use this against Fireball now.
Yeah. You can use fire to block.
Before you could only do it against things that were targeting only
Shield Master looks good.
That is
that makes Shield Master a lot better.
Interpose shield looks great.
Yeah, that's why I took it on Victor, and then I reread it and I was like, oh, I can't use it against Fireball. But now you can. Well, in this UA you can.
Yeah.
Skulker. I think that's pretty similar to what it was before. You can hide in the darkness, basically. Speedster.
Yeah. Speed increased by 10 feet. Dash over difficult terrain.
So that is basically that's mobile. That's mobile feat.
Okay.
Except now you get an extra dex with it, which makes it better.
Yeah.
Okay. Spell Sniper, casting in melee doesn't impose disadvantage, and you get increased range.
All good stuff.
But it doesn't double it. It just adds 60 feet as long as it has a range.
They don't want those 300 something foot fireballs anymore, dude.
Yeah. No more 600 foot
Eldritch Blast.
I'm gonna stick with the old one in that.
You know what? I'm just gonna stick with that.
Why would they take that out? It's called Spell Sniper for a reason. Dang.
Well, you still get to ignore cover and all that stuff.
Yeah. 3/4 cover.
And while you don't get it,
you still get to increase it by 60 feet.
Yeah.
60 feet. It's just not doubled.
Okay, that's fine. That's still
you lose the double, but you gain no disadvantage at 5 feet. So that's
really good.
And rarely are you ever going to be at 300 feet anyway. So I think it's fine.
Warcaster is pretty much the same.
I took fly for a reason,
and it's it's a half feet now for casters. So still really good. Warcaster is a half feet now, so very, very good. All these are half feats now. It makes them very good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're just making it to where you get both, I think.
Yeah. Concentration.
I'm feeling
more happy
it's
the same.
That.
It's
That's what it should be.
It's exactly the same, except it's a half feet.
+1.
Weapon training, whatever. It is what it is.
It's the same thing as like the one before. I don't remember if it was called weapon training, but now it's a half feat. So
Woo!
then we move on to the spell lists, which we're not going to read through all
No,
of them.
I'm not
They
gonna go
are
through all that.
approximately where you would think they are.
Yep, it's all pretty much the same.
Rules glossary, ability check. We already know about that. There was a couple in here I wanted to talk about. They changed guidance to here it is. They changed guidance. It's now a reaction. And well, don't get too excited because the creature that rolls a d4 can add that number to their check, potentially turning it into a success. But once a creature rolls the die for the spell, that creature can't benefit from the spell again until the creature finishes a long rest. So
that sucks.
that is a huge
That's
nerf
terrible.
to guidance.
Boo.
The whole reason you take it
They were
is
like, they were like, ha 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 ha.
Big F you, yeah.
So yeah, they're getting rid of that. Oh, I'm just gonna have a D4 to everything I ever do always. It's now you can do it as a reaction, which is a little bit of a buff. It's like a side grade, but you can only do it once per long rest, so it's not great. It's the worst cantrip ever now.
It completely ruins my character on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh man. There were a couple other things I think I wanted to talk about before grappled, before guidance, but I remembered that one and had to talk about it.
The light weapon property changed, I think.
Did it?
Yeah. Which one was I thinking? The heroic inspiration changed too, even from the last one.
Yeah, now it's when you roll a natural 1.
Yeah,
you get
instead of a natural 20. Yeah.
Which sure, whatever. I don't...
They changed exhausted, I think, as well.
That's one of the ones. Exhaustion.
Yeah, exhaustion changed.
It's no longer 6 levels, and each one of them does something different. It's now 10 levels, and whenever you make a D20 test, you subtract whatever your exhaustion level is from the D20 roll.
Yeah, makes it a lot easier, a lot more clear, easier to calculate.
Like, never have I ever even gotten to 5, let alone 10 points of exhaustion.
I think it will make you want to push forward more, though, right? Because
I think also this kind of change makes exhaustion more accessible for the DM to use, because I think a lot of DMs don't use exhaustion because of how convoluted
That's a good
it
point.
is. Like, I might be more willing to dish out exhaustion levels if they weren't so like, what level exhaustion are you on? Does that mean you get ability or check? But this is just like, it's a simplification. It's nicer. Exhaustion levels could be given out more readily, and like, you get 10 levels of it, you just die. That's it. You're just done.
It's particularly bad for casters, though, because now you also subtract your exhaustion level from the spell save DC of any spell you cast.
Yep. Ugh. But I mean, it's still. I think overall, this is a good change for exhaustion.
Yeah.
That's one I think that I would have to play test a lot to know get a feel for it, because like I said, right now, I've only ever in any game I've ever played, I think the highest I've seen someone exhausted is 3, and I think that is a frenzy barbarian.
Yeah. Maybe that makes that barbarian worth playing now.
You think?
I mean, I don't know. That's why that thing sucks so bad.
I mean, you can still take Great Weapon Master if you. Well, I guess no one's taking that anymore.
Nope.
But you could say that take that and get bonus action hits. But yeah, maybe that makes it good.
Yeah, maybe it makes it good. I don't know. They'll probably change it anyway, so it won't even matter. The hidden was one of the other ones you were talking about.
Hidden, yes. So now you get surprised if you're hidden, and the way that hiding works. Okay, so when you take the hide action, you have to make a DC 15 stealth check. So it's going to get more into this later, but like just off of that, it doesn't take into account anything around passive perception.
Yeah.
So you have to do that while you are heavily obscured or behind 3/4 cover or total cover, and be out of any visible enemy's line of sight. If you can see a creature, you can discern whether it can see you. On a successful check, you are hidden. You are no longer hidden if a creature sees you. So the condition ends immediately after you take any of the following occurrences. You make a sound louder than a whisper, an enemy finds you, You make an attack roll, you cast a spell with a verbal component, or you aren't heavily obscured or behind any cover. So it's kind of like, what if the spell as a verbal component, you whisper it?
I whisper my spell component.
Hopefully they will make it to where if you have verbal commandments, you have to speak them loudly, not.
That makes sense to me. With the exception of a couple spells, that makes sense to me. Like I think message, not sending, but message, I think has a verbal component. And I think what you say.
I'm gonna make a class that's a Heidi wizard. He's an ASMR wizard. Okay, guys, I'm gonna cast Fireball.
Well, it's funny because it doesn't say. It says if you make an attack roll or cast a spell with a verbal component. So theoretically, you could cast a bunch of spells that aren't attack rolls and don't have verbal components and remain hidden.
It'd be all right. Yeah.
Like what is making me do these? What is making me do these saves? I can't see it.
I can't see
Can't move. Why am I still?
I don't even know where it's coming from. Yeah, that'll probably get changed.
Yeah, and then the other thing is one of the conditions that ends it is an enemy finds you. But
okay,
I don't know how that works. If you're looking at passive perception, then it would find you immediately if you happen to roll over the DC 15 stealth check, but under the creature's passive
someone walks
perception.
into you.
I guess, sure. I mean, it's just not. It's kind of weird that they went to the trouble of changing it to be something specific.
It's weird,
but leaving things out.
I'm sure that this one gets changed. Hidden condition gets changed. Influence. This was a big one.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing that a lot of DMs already use.
I know, but it's written down now.
Yeah, it is written down now.
As in, if someone is my mortal enemy, I cannot charisma check them into loving me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No more than one in any direction. Like, the guy's like, I hate your guts. You can't be like, dude, we could be best friends. And he's like, you know what? You're right. I wanted. That's all I wanted.
20 on my persuasion check. He's my best friend.
I bet the guy's like, he just starts crying. He's like, I just wanted a friend the whole time.
But yeah, now there's like attitudes, whether indifferent, friendly, or hostile, and then the ability checks that you make into them can sort of differentiate. So that's kind of cool. They wrote it down, but I feel like that's something that most games are already using.
Influence responses, this kind of stuff. I think this is good. I think it's good that they just wrote it down. That's all I care about here. Here it is. It's written down.
Yep. I think that is it. Was there
invisibility? Did that change anything?
Well, a little bit, I think. Not all. You can't be seen, which it's like all the things that are obvious but that weren't written down before, I guess. So you aren't affected by any effect that requires its target to be seen. Any equipment you're wearing also cannot be seen. If you're invisible when you roll initiative, you have advantage, and attack rolls against you have disadvantage, and your attack rolls have advantage. That is like, I guess it doesn't really still clarify invisibility as much as I'd like it to. If you're invisible and you roll a bad stealth check, what does that mean? Does that mean someone heard you and is now on alert for you? Does that mean that they know exactly what square you're in and can just take disadvantaged shots at you? Like, do they not know what square you're in? In which case they're making
invisible has been
I don't know. Yeah.
Invisible's been convoluted for a while. We'll see. I felt like invisibility was really super extra mega omega lame in 5e.
Yeah, that's because of the way that your DM played it.
God, I hated that so much.
I would not play it that way, but it's
like, oh, you're invisible, but I just know where you are. So, what's the point of being invisible?
Has true sight, then
yeah. All right. I mean, anything else on here? I don't think. We already did the ritual thing.
It specifies what a search action is, which is perception, survival, medicine, or insight. So you can use an action to do those things.
Okay, yeah.
It talks about the slowed condition, which it did a little bit in the last one anyway. The study action is the same as the search action, but now it's like arcana, history, investigation, nature, religion instead of the other ones.
Did they define long rest a little better in this?
You get all your hit dice back now.
Yeah, you do get all your hit dice back instead of half. I think that's the only big change they made.
Your hit point maximum was reduced by any means. It returns to normal, so no more like.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how they will, because there are certain like in the monster things, the ability of the monster generally will say if it
So
comes
many
back
days or whatever.
on a short
Yeah.
rest or a long rest or whatever. And now with this, it's just like you get it back. So I don't know if they'll change.
They're making
those
it.
stat
They're making
blocks
it like
or what.
Skyrim, where you can just sit. I'm going to wait here for 24 hours and then I'll fight this thing.
Yeah, which I don't know if I like, but whatever. We'll see if it even sticks. Tool proficiency, teleportation, unarmed strike. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I did want to find the speeds. So some creatures have different types of speeds. If you have more than one speed, you must choose which one to use each time you move.
You
Each
talking
time
about
you take your move.
speed or movement?
Both.
Okay, so the move one, you can now move through any creature's space now. So you can move through allies like always, but if it's a different creature that's not your ally, it's just difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Which allows for a lot more mobility on the field, I think. I like that change.
Before going off too far, with the long rest stuff,
Yeah.
they changed it. If you get into combat or walk for an hour during your long rest, the long rest is kaput. You don't get it.
Oh, you don't get it at all.
Yeah, you have to restart the long rest.
I feel like that's it. I mean, that's how we played a lot. I think is just DM might be like, well, you can still have it.
Yeah, I don't think our campaigns are a good example of how long rest works.
Yeah, it's not because that's like the thing we changed the most about the rules.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that was the thing already. I feel like that was the thing already. Oh, so the special speeds, you have to choose which speed you're using each time you take your move.
Yeah.
So for example, if you have a speed and a climb speed, you can use one of those speeds when you move, not both during the same move. If you take more than one move on a turn, like for instance, if you were to take the dash action, and you have more than one speed, each move can use the same speed or a different speed. So if you have
not
a speed
both during
and a fly
the same
speed,
move.
you can take the dash action on your turn. You could use your speed for the move and then use your fly speed for the dash, or vice versa. The thing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me is what's is there a disadvantage to choosing climb speed if you have one always?
I mean, I guess
Or
not.
can you just not climb at all if you don't
have
choose
a
climb speed?
This does seem, now that you're saying it, I mean, like, also, if I was flying and I wanted to land and run up to someone, can I not do that?
I guess not.
Like, do I have to like hover
slightly
across
above the ground?
Yeah, like 2 inches above the ground. I'm like, I'm coming towards you, baby,
with my fly speed.
Just not even moving, just like sliding up to him.
Yeah.
Like
it's like you're lagging out in the game.
Yeah, it's like you just sliding.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's bad. Oh, short swords, no longer martial weapons. They're simple weapons.
That's probably good. Didn't need to be a martial weapon.
Slowed. They added to where if you're slowed, has it always been everyone has advantage on slow targets?
No, that was in the last UA though as well.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that really makes the slow spell a lot better.
Yeah,
a lot better.
We'll see if they change it.
Unarmed strike, but I don't think they really changed anything.
Yeah, it's just letting you know you can still grapple and shove and stuff. It's just called something different.
Yeah. I think the rest of this is kind of the same.
Yep, I think that's most of it.
I think we got there. I think we did it. We did it. It took a little longer than I thought it would, honestly.
So it's 37 pages long.
37 whole pages, dude. Tremor sense.
A lot of small changes.
Weird stuff. Why did they even bring up tremor sense? Is there any player class that has tremor sense?
Yeah. The new dwarves can get it, remember?
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So everyone can finally do that blind monk thing they've always wanted to do.
You can be taught from Avatar the last.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're a blind caster or a blind monk that uses the vibrations of the ground to find their enemies. Yeah, you're Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender for sure. All right, I think that's it. I think we got there. Congratulations, everyone, on making it through all.
Anything else I wanted to touch on, but I think we got it.
I think we got it. And if we didn't get it, that's just how it is. This was not a comprehensive, like, one-to-one comparison. So I'm okay if we missed a couple of things.
There is a new version of Barkskin if you want to look at it. Because
Okay,
before it was just
I mean,
on the
sure,
tree. It
we're
was like a
here.
stealth thing, I think, right? Let me double check. I'm
Double
pretty sure
check.
stealth spell only before. Go.
Bark skin.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a spell.
Yeah, but I think that it was just you could only cast it on yourself.
Click, 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 click.
Blade Ward should get changed where you cast it on allies.
Okay, so you touch a willing creature.
Yeah.
Target skin has rough bark like you.
Willing creature.
Targets
Right
can't
there.
be less than 16. Okay, so
Is
before
that an age
it was
requirement?
it makes your AC no less than 16.
Okay, yeah.
The new one, I think it gives you temporary hit points. Is that what it does? Yeah, it gives you temporary hit points
That's
equal
better.
to your spellcasting ability modifier
Sure.
plus your efficiency bonus. So that's the change.
That's better because how often do you need to give someone AC? And if there is a player who's like, I'm up in the front line, I need some AC. Their AC is probably higher than 16, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, it's. I feel like it's a side grade.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is kind of side grade. Some of it's. I feel like Ranger is quite a bit better than it was.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I do think it is significantly better than what it was because Rangers were underwhelming. I thought they were the most
You think that
the Hunter's Mark and everything like that really, I think, improves that character.
Just Hunter's Mark. That's all I needed to do to fix Rangers.
Listen, dude, that's a big deal. Like
it is a big deal. It is a big.
That's
deal.
a huge deal. I used to
see
think
a lot more multi-class. What like Isaac
maybe
was saying.
And I used to think Ranger was the most underwhelming class until we read Cleric deeply the other day.
Well, let's see what happens whenever we really go in deep on Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if we dig into Ranger,
that's Papu.
I'm going to be like, you know what? I was totally wrong. Clerics
read
aren't
the original Beastmaster in depth.
I have read that. That's terrible.
It's
Because
ass.
I do specifically remember going, ooh, a Beastmaster. That sounds sick. And I read it and I was like, it's not though.
It's
not
sick
at all.
It's like you hit level 3 and you're like, sick, I got Beastmaster. You hit level 4 and you're like, it's worthless now.
And now, yep.
My power spike was the same level that I got it.
I was cool for one level, guys. I hope they change Circle of the Moon Druid too.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think that's one that is cool but needs something.
Well, I'm guessing the next. My guess is. What do you think the next UA is going to be? You think it's going to be another set of another class group?
Yeah, it'll probably be fighters.
Do you think it's going to be
warriors, whatever?
Fighter is a class.
You're right.
Warrior is a class.
Warrior. It's going to not be casters. I think they'll save
so?
I think casters are going to be the hardest ones to change.
Probably true.
In a meaningful way. So like those might take longer to do. And I think that warriors, barbarian, fighter, monk.
Early so that they can start getting that juicy feedback.
Maybe they do. Yeah, maybe it's next and it's going to go in this order. Experts, mages, priests, warriors in that order. Because maybe they got warrior locked down and they're like, no one's going to object to this. But they know that all the caster classes, people are going to be like, well, I don't like that you changed that thing.
That's what they'll do. They'll put out one of the casters next, and then to sort of take a break from reeling about all the bad feedback, they're going to give out warriors, and everyone's going to be like, that's fine.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
And then they'll put out the other caster group.
I don't think there's been a lot of negative feedback, actually. I like,
except
honestly,
crits. And they're like, well, we won't do
that was the only thing. I was about to say, the only thing like I was really like, come on, guys, why'd you change this? Was crits. And they did change it. Congratulations, Wizards of the Coast. Thanks for listening. Nobody liked that. I'm sure somebody liked it, but they're wrong.
But they're wrong. And the only things I don't like about this, like that I flat out don't like about this UA, are Great Weapon Master, Sharpshooter, and I don't really like to change the guidance.
Well, fill out that form, baby.
What about you guys? Anything you don't just it stands out to you as either liking or not liking?
The Great Weapon Master is like really the only thing that I was okay. Epic boons, most of them are pretty lame.
Most of them are really lame, and I don't like how that's what you get at level 20.
Well, your normal level 20 thing you get at 18 now. So
yeah, I don't mind something new.
I don't mind
that is a change that they made to rogues. I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Because they did change.
Let's loop back around, baby.
We're back.
We're back all the way back.
Where was it? It was Subtle strikes. So at 13th level, when you attack, you have advantage on any attack roll that targets a creature that is within 5 feet of you and that is within at least 5 feet of at least one of your allies who isn't incapacitated. So anytime that you're like, well, I have sneak attack because my buddy's standing next to him, you just get advantage.
Okay.
That's pretty.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that's
nice.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That was the biggest change they made to rogues, and I forgot when we went over it. So that's the change.
Otherwise, yeah, epic boons, lame. They need to be more powerful. I always feel like level 20 stuff should be more powerful because when do you get to level 20? It's such a rare occurrence that it should be bonkers. And like some of these are not balanced in a good way. Like some of them seem amazing and some of them seem completely worthless. Like Misty Step.
Yeah, the Misty Step thing, it can be really good for like a class that isn't a caster. There's not a lot of them that fit.
It could be really good for a character that's level 6, but not a character that's level 20.
I don't know. It can still be good for a level 20 rogue.
Over gaining resistance to everything? Over getting 40 hit points?
Yeah.
Well, 40 hit points. Well, it depends on what you're fighting. Like if the things you're fighting are doing a ton of damage, then it may be better to just get away from it. Especially if they have a lot of restraints.
Yeah, but that's only it doesn't go far enough for them to not be like, I can catch up to him in one round.
Well, you Misty Step 30 feet and then you get all your movement.
Yeah.
You'd have to be running like a mofo, dude. They'll legendary action all the way up to you. Level 20, dude.
That's true, I guess. But it depends.
And
like
honestly,
if
a rogue,
behind the friend,
if you have like mobility, you're moving 40 feet, you can just bonus action disengage and still get the same speed. Honestly,
you can't.
You're just switching.
You can't disengage from a restrain or a grapple without that other feat. I think.
Now you can. Yeah, about to say now you can though.
Yeah,
you can Misty Step.
Yeah.
You're defeating your own argument. I'm not even having to do it.
All of these boons are in the DMG. Like they took them pretty much word for word.
This is something that I never really looked at.
It sucks that you can do it. You can only do it once, right?
Once per. Some of them are once per initiative, right?
It's once per initiative.
Are you sure on that one? I thought it was once per long rest.
I don't even know what page we were on that. I'm lost. I've been scrolling through as we go. I think it was once per initiative, short rest or long rest.
I shall find it.
I'll find
See, like this, the DMG has more. One of them is you can cast Burning Hands, save DC 15 at will without using a spell slot or any components. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Once you use this benefit,
you
can't use it again until you roll initiative or finish short rest or long rest.
Yeah. It's still, you only get to use it once. If it was like, you can use Misty Step whenever you want. Doesn't cost
a number of times equal to your proficiency modifier.
It's just is a bonus action?
Yeah, I agree with that.
You
I
can
agree
use
with
your
that. It takes
bonus
a bonus
action.
action, but you can use it.
It's like it's like your cunning action. Instead of a dash action, I can Misty Step.
That'd be
a bonus action.
That would be worthy of level 20, I think.
Yeah.
Level 20, guys.
That's the big thing. If it's level 20, that's the big one.
That's the big thing. If I was getting that at level 10, I'd be psyched. But I'm getting it at level 20. 20. A level that most people don't even get to.
Valid.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to crap on this thing too much. We've done a lot of crap. We've done a lot of poo-pooing lately. So positivity.
I want Boon of True Sight, where I just get True Sight out to 60 feet.
That would be good. Yeah, sure.
Would be really awesome.
That's totally doable. It's a level 20 thing. If you're level 20, sure, you can have True Sight, dude. But why not just get Tremor Sense?
That's the thing. It's called the same thing. Epic Boon.
Not the same thing. With True Sight, you can see through illusions.
Magical darkness and illusions and stuff. Yeah.
And you can see if something is shapeshifter, you can see its natural form. It's pretty rad.
Right. That doesn't work on.
Not on Tremor Sense.
No, yeah. You're right. I'm saying it that being able to see through true form stuff that doesn't work on changelings. I don't think
it does. Anything
that
is shapeshifted. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, fantastic. Overall, though, positive vibes. I like a lot of these changes.
I like the direction they're heading. We'll see if they can finish nailing it out.
Yep. We got a lot. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of these episodes in the coming months. Yeah, in the next year. These things are going to be coming out pretty regularly.
It'll be fun.
I'll try to read over it a little more next time. I was a little busy this week.
Yeah, probably. This was this. They had 2 in September, one at the beginning and one at the end. So maybe roughly once a month.
Maybe.
This seems to be their.
Sure. I mean, they got a whole team working on these things. So, anyways, thanks for listening. This will go up Friday, and then we're off a week, and then we'll be back.
See you then.
Bye.
Yeah. Get out of here, Craig.
Beat it, Craig.